Hi everyone, Ashley here, and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing this really sweet encouragement themed card that is part of a very special cause. This video is part of the Eating Disorder Awareness Week Hop organized by my friend Candace, also known as Candoodle Creations on Instagram. You can find all of her information down in the description below the video. I am super honored to be joining in on this hop and very grateful to Candace for organizing it as well as inviting me to be part of it. I met Candace on Instagram through crafting, and it turns out she is just one of the sweetest people ever. And funnily enough, it turns out that of all the people that we could have met on Instagram in the world who are obsessed with crafting, we live about maybe a 15-minute drive from each other. How crazy is that? So once, COVID is over, we're definitely planning to do some crafting together. And I just love that I've met such a sweet and kind person through this hobby. Now, Candace knows a lot about eating disorders, and she was kind enough to share some facts about them with us as we are doing this hop. What I didn't know about eating disorders is that they actually affect more of the population than I realized, about 1 to 3% of the population, and they do have a very high mortality rate. And as much as my card today is very girl-focused and, says, "You Flamin-GO girl," in fact, eating disorders are shared among men and women, so anyone can get an eating disorder. It's not just women, although that is a common myth. So I just wanted to point that out because, especially with me doing this card, it is very kind of girly, girl-focused, but, eating disorders really can affect anyone. I am so honored to be joining this hop to help raise awareness for these really complex disorders, and I encourage you to head down to the description box below this video to find out more information. Candace has actually compiled some really good resources for anyone who wants to learn more about this. Another reason you should check out that video description below is that it has some really important information about this video hop. So you'll see the link for the next video that you should hop to as part of this hop. And there is a lot of crafty goodness to be found along the way, so I highly encourage you to hop along and see what everyone has to share. Finally, Candace has assembled an amazing array of goodies as giveaways, so you'll see all the information there below as well, and that will help guide you on how to enter those giveaways and how to join. So now, after all that, I am going to move on to chatting about the card and the crafting. So this is actually a fairly simple card for me. If you watch some of my other videos or you check out some of my cards on YouTube, you'll see that I often do some quite complex scene building cards with lots of ink blending and things, but for this one I decided to just keep it simple. Candace had mentioned that purple is an important color for eating disorder awareness, so I decided to incorporate purple as the main focal point of my card by using the Watercolor Wishes pattern paper from Lawn Fawn as the main background of the card. As you can see, I've also gone ahead and stamped, colored, and cut all of the images that will go onto this card, and for those, I just stamped them with some Copic-friendly black ink. I used My Favorite Things Extreme Black ink onto some Nina Solar White paper, which is good for Copic coloring. So you can see up in the top left corner there some of the other pieces that are going into this card. So I'm using a white card base and a white scalloped rectangle, which I'm just gluing together right now, so that scalloped rectangle is going directly onto the card base. Onto that, I'm placing a piece of turquoise paper, which will act as a border for the main card panel. And then onto that, I'm just using the same liquid glue to glue on that purple panel itself, which again is that Watercolor Wishes patterned paper. As I was chatting about eating disorder awareness, I was coloring all of these images, which come from 2 Lawn Fawn stamp sets, Flamin-GO Together and All the Clouds. So I colored the 2 flamingos pink, and I stamped out some palm trees from that set in brown and green, and I'm just kind of gluing them onto the card front here. I'm using some foam squares for the flamingos themselves, so they have a little bit of dimension from the card base, and I'm just gluing those palm trees straight down onto the card panel behind the flamingos using some liquid glue. And whenever I'm doing any type of scene card like this where I'm assembling pieces together, I do like to use my craft tweezers to really just make sure that everything is exactly where I want it to be and everything is lined up perfectly. So I'm just going through, and as I've decided kind of where I want things to go, I'm gluing them down one by one, again just using my craft tweezers to get that perfect placement. And when I'm ready for the flamingos, I'm just coming in and taking that release paper off those foam squares and sticking them down as well. I've also stuck down that sentiment banner, which says "You Flamin-GO Girl," which I stamped in turquoise ink, and I put that on some foam squares right down at the bottom. I'm finishing off the scene by adding a few of these clouds and a little sun and some hearts up into the sky, again just using some liquid glue. And I finish it off by just adding a few little flowers around the scene as well. For a final touch, I'm adding a few iridescent sequins, which I just scattered around the card scene, and I'm just going through one by one, adding a little dab of liquid glue down onto the paper and placing it down with my tweezers. And with that, the card is complete. So thank you so much for watching this video. Again, please do hop along to the next one and check out the video description below for more information on eating disorders, awareness, and of course the fun giveaway. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. To see more of my cards, also check out my Instagram account, which is linked down in the description below the video, and as well as some of the other videos on my channel. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!